when you started playing the guitar, what was your influence to select that instrument? And did you move on to play other instruments?
Jimi Hendrix was the influence. And, you know, because I grew up in Motown and, you know, it wasn't uncommon to see some of the Motown stars in the neighborhood. For example, Gladys Knight's son was in my brother's class in elementary school, right? You know, so, and she was in the neighborhood. You would see her and she was like a regular person. And there were other people, you know, and so maybe we kind of took that for granted to a certain degree. But when I heard Jimi Hendrix, it like opened up a whole nother way of hearing music. I just didn't even know that could happen, right? And so hearing Jimi Hendrix for the first time, which I heard in my 8th grade class, my teacher played Band of Gypsies, Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies, and played the song Who Knows, which I think is about, you know, 15 minutes long, played the whole song. And I just had never heard anybody play a guitar like that. And immediately I was hooked. And so that was the number one influence. You know, as I started listening to guitar, you know, more guitar players, you know, there were many guitar players who were influential early on, you know, Wes Montgomery and Kenny Burrell. You know, Kenny Burrell was out of Detroit, by the way, you know, jazz players. But also, you know, I think rock probably influenced my guitar playing more so than the other genres, rock and funk. You know, the Parliament Funkadelic, that's been a huge influence. You know, Eddie Hazel, the stuff that Sly and the Family Stone did rhythmically was a big influence on my guitar playing. You know, probably, you know, saxophone maybe has influenced the way I think about music more so than guitar even. That's really, saxophone is my favorite instrument, even though I don't play that. And no, I haven't really gone on. I play bass a bit. I play bass enough to put down bass tracks to, you know, if I'm bringing a new song to the band. And, you know, I played bass for a number of years in a local reggae band, but guitar is my main instrument. Oh, I play Doon drums. I forgot about that. The West African bass drums that accompany the djembe. So I haven't really been focusing on the djembe, on the drums in the last maybe 6, 7, 8 years or so. But the experience of playing those drums influences the music I'm creating now, you know, with guitars, basses, you know, drum sets and keyboards.
Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Definitely shout out to Jimi Hendrix, the greatest, one of the greatest, most definitely. I got a chance to check out y'all track, Purple Haze. So I know y'all had a little, you know, flavor going on. That was tight. I like how y'all did that for sure. Let me see. Oh, so I wanted to ask you, now you said you was in a reggae band. What genres of music have you participated in, and how many groups were you in, you know, prior to Mollywop?
I've been in a lot of groups. I don't know, 20, I don't know, over the years. I've been playing guitar again since 1971. So, you know, a lot of groups, they form and don't really do anything, especially like in high school. You know, we were constantly forming groups and, you know, trying to see what might gel. I don't remember the names of all of those, but, you know, rock, again, initially was the major influence, you know, because of Hendrix. And so I was playing more rock stuff in high school. Then in the mid 70s, about 75, I got turned on to reggae. A friend of mine who I went to high school with had moved to New York, and reggae was big in New York because of the big Caribbean community there, but it really hadn't hit in Detroit that big yet. And so she came back that summer and turned me on to Bob Marley. And so then that was like a dream come true, because it had the soulful harmonies of the Motown sound that I grew up listening to, but it also had these conscious lyrics, you know, these revolutionary Black conscious lyrics, which I was really yearning for. You know, Gil Scott-Heron for a long time was the only one in popular music really holding down those kind of conscious lyrics. And so it was coming with this red hot fire. And then also it had guitars in it, you know, and a lot of times it had kind of rock or blues influenced guitar playing in the reggae. And so I was really swept up by reggae for maybe 30 years or so. And basically for 30 years, that's all I played. For a number of years, I played in a band called Acre, which is named after the Adinkra symbol, the war horn. And, we prided ourselves in playing just conscious revolutionary music. And some of that stuff is on YouTube. Before that, I played in a band called Onyx in Detroit, which was kind of not the first reggae band, but one of the first ones to become popular. And, we played around a lot and had a lot of people who would come out and see us. And Onyx split off into several different bands. So, the members of that created maybe 4 or 5 new bands. And so Akko Ben, this band I played in for 20 years, was a break off from Onyx.
Oh, okay. Wow. Big shout out to Gil Scott Heron, definitely a musical giant. Now, I remember that one song he made, was it We Almost Lost Detroit this time. Is he from Detroit, or he was just giving up?
He is not from Detroit, but interestingly, I was thinking about this earlier today, because as I was coming home a little while ago, on the public radio, they were playing a cut by Gil Scott Heron. In fact, they were playing his take on Marvin Gaye. I forgot which tune, one of Marvin Gaye's tunes. But what came to mind is, although Gil Scott Heron is not from Detroit, his father lived in Detroit. And I actually met his father once, just ran into him in the bike shop in the neighborhood. I was going to get a part for my bike, and he was in there. And we talked for a minute. He told me it was Gil Scott's father. It blew my mind. But, Gil Scott's father was from Jamaica originally. So no, Gil wasn't from Detroit. I think he was born in Tennessee, if I recall. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's born in Tennessee and then grew up mostly in New York. But he had that connection of his father being in Detroit. I had a chance to meet and interview Gil Scott when I was in college. I was doing a show on the local public radio. That was probably about 76, 77. And I still got the tape actually of that interview. I need to break it out one day and really listen to it again.
Oh, wow. That's a treasure, man. Yeah, you definitely need to break that on now. But I mean, you said if his dad from Detroit, he still got some of the flavor. So
Yeah.
that's cool.